Grace is in Los Angeles. Hi, Grace. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Dave.
Sure. What's up?
So my husband and I, we're in baby step 7, but we actually skipped baby step 5 because we cannot agree on how to execute baby step 5. We have 3 small children, and he does not want to put money away for their college because he's concerned that what if they don't do a 4-year college? Maybe we want the money more liquid so they can use it for a trade school or something else of that nature.
They can use a 529 for trade school.
They can use it for trade school, but what if? Well, I guess he's concerned that it gets locked in there, and then what if they just?
Well, it's not locked. You can take it out. There's just a penalty on. You don't get to keep all the growth tax free. You get to pay a tax on the growth. You pay a tax on the growth.
But the principal you would be able to keep?
Sure, and you keep all the growth, minus the penalty for the tax for taking it out and not using it for education.
Okay.
So and it's transferable to siblings.
Okay. So what would you suggest we do in this situation? I mean, do we fund?
I would suggest he gets some better knowledge than he has, which will lead him to a different decision.
That would be helpful.
Well, I mean, he's making us. It sounds like he thinks it's stuck in there. And Christina, 529 you can get too.
Yeah, there's a lot of options with 529s. You can even use it for K through 12 expenses. So if you notice that maybe your oldest isn't going to college, you can switch beneficiaries and use it for K through 12, use it on another one of your kids' educations. There is a lot of flexibility in it. So I know it's kind of scary because it seems so concerning about if your kids don't go to school, but there's a lot you can do with it.
But worst case scenario, you just simply cash it out. And let's say that you had put in $50,000 and it grew to $100,000. I'll just make up a number. That wouldn't be right. But let's just say, you made $50,000. Okay, you're going to pay taxes on the $50,000 growth. Or let's say you put $60,000 in and it grew to $100,000. That's probably more realistic. Okay, so you're going to pay taxes on the growth if you cash it in and don't use it for education, which you would have done if it was just in a mutual fund, by the way. Okay.
Oh.
You have to pay taxes on. If you put it in a mutual fund, you have to pay taxes on it. So, the only thing the 529 does is give you tax-free growth for education. So it's a Roth IRA for education in a sense, mathematically. So you can cash it out. You get to keep all of the money you put in, all of the growth, but you have to pay taxes on it and a penalty on it, like cashing out an IRA early.
What is the penalty?
I think it's 15.
10 or 15.
10 or 15. Okay. It used to be 10, and then it went up, and I think it's come back down. So I can't remember. But it's not. It's you're going to get to keep some of the growth and all of the principal, which is all you would have got. I mean, what you're going to lose here is the penalty, versus if you had it in mutual funds. So it's worth it. It's worth a try.
Okay.
So
is it better than in like an UTMA?
Or? Yeah, because an UTMA you're going to pay taxes on once it gets to a certain size. Okay. UTMA's what I use for my kids because 529s weren't there when they were little. There's no such thing. So let's talk about an UTMA because this is a really good discussion. Thank you for calling. An UTMA stands for UTMA, Uniform Transfer to Minors Act. In no case can a minor under 18 years old do a financial transaction of any kind. They can't have a bank account. So if you go down and open a bank account for your kid at the local bank, it's technically not in your kid's name. It's technically an UTMA. It's technically has their name on it, but it has you as the custodian of the account. Because children are not allowed to do contracts under contract law in America. Okay? So you open a bank account, you do anything in a kid's name. 16 years old, you cannot, you can't do a contract. It's not binding. So you go open a mutual fund in the kid's name with you as the custodian. That's all an UTMA is. Now, it's taxed at the kid's rate, which is nothing until the mutual fund gets big enough that the income off of it is past their deductible, the standard deduction. Okay? And so you can get $10,000, $20,000 in there before you pay any taxes on it, but then you're going to pay taxes on it. So I paid taxes on the mutual funds that were in my kids' names once they got to a certain size, the kids did. And so it ends up with less money in the account because I paid taxes than I would have if it was in growing tax-free in a 529. And so there's really very little downside of doing the 529. That's my point. That's why I was being smart aleck about it.
And well, so yeah, you're right. It sounds like that it's a better value. And then if they just don't go to college, because my husband's gun shy, his sister had $450,000 in student loan debt, and so he's very like, you're not going to have any student loan debt, but you're going to get scholarships, and if you don't go to college, you're not going to, if you drop out early or something, we don't want you wasting it. So
yeah, well,
we can pull it out if they don't.
It is in the current environment with higher education having lost its shine with the epic student loan crisis and with how they've misbehaved during COVID, like they're trying to charge full tuition to do e-learning from home, and you don't even show up at the actual location, and that they want to charge full price, and people are going, I don't think I'm paying that for that. And so higher ed's kind of got a couple black eyes right now, and a lot of people are going, look, there's a whole bunch of people got a whole bunch of stupid butt degrees that aren't useful at all. And so there's a lot of people worried about, maybe but I don't think you ought to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think there's a valid use for higher education. Is it for everyone? No. And before I get a master's degree for $250,000 in sociology, I'm going to go get a welding certificate and make 3 times what a sociologist makes. Okay? Mm-hmm. And so, that's, I'm with people on that. But this idea that all higher ed is bad, we don't believe that.
Right. Yeah, I would challenge y'all to take that fear from the 450 and the bad experiences with higher education and turn it into motivation to save even more aggressively for the 529. Help set your kids up for success, have them give that savings to them so that they have it available, plus inspire them to go for scholarships, like you said, and be really motivated to own their own journey to higher education.
Yeah. You're right. The $450,000 in debt should lead you the other way to make you into a savings maniac. Right, that his sister had. So, yeah, but I guess he's paranoid about the whole process now. I get that. I understand that. That's why I'm addressing it. But, yeah, I think there's very little downside. And, and I do think there's a huge value to a usable 4-year degree. I all 3 of my kids, 4-year degrees. Sharon and I, 4-year degrees. My father-in-law is very, very proud that of his 13 grandkids, 12 of them have 4-year degrees. He's very proud of that, and he should be. That's very good. And so, but again, we're not for useless degrees. We're certainly not for student loan debt, but none of that's necessary. So all of that to say, we had college funds. And we told our kids from the time they were little, this is your college fund, this is your college fund, this is your college fund, which presupposes that, by God, you're going to college.
Right.
And it's kind of like drilled in. It's like a little bit of a brainwashing thing here, So, yeah, so I wasn't wringing my hands that they might not go because I really wasn't giving them a choice. So, but I'm an old school dad that way, so that's the way that works. Hey, good stuff. Thank you for calling, Miss Grace. That's a good question. I like talking about it.
Up next, we have Jamie in San Antonio. Hey, Jamie, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
If I needed a dream team to help me, you two are the ones I would pick.
We got you.
We are here for you, Jamie. We are here for you.
What's up?
I need you. I have a very simple question and a very messy situation. At what point do I stop investing? Kind of what's going on. I'm 45. I'm disabled, and I'm freshly divorced. So I'm on a set income, and I need to start making a budget, and I'm not sure what to do with my money. Mm-hmm. I bring in about $4,000 a month, but I only spend about $1,500. I'm debt free, and I have a little over $650,000 in brokerage accounts.
600 and what?
50,000.
50. Good for you, Jamie. Okay.
This is from the divorce, and
okay.
I received probably 90%. He received maybe 10, if that.
Okay.
But I feel like I cannot make any financial mistakes because I cannot go out and get a job. Mm-hmm. If anything goes wrong, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Jamie, I want you to do me a huge favor. I want you to take as deep breath as you possibly can, and I want you to hold it for a count of 3, okay? Do it. Take it deep in. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Let it out. Okay. I want you to hear me as directly as you can, okay? Financially, you're in great shape.
Okay.
Okay? You're in great shape.
I can hear the words, but I just can't.
I know you can't. I know. But when you get scared in the middle of the night, I want you to hear those words. What happened in your marriage?
After 21 years, I found out he's been cheating on me for a while. And he's recently admitted that he has a sex addiction.
So this has been going on with a lot of people, huh?
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I found out. I couldn't stay. I couldn't.
No. No.
And my kids are broken, and I'm broken.
Yeah.
And so on paper, it looks so good, and I know that because I've been Dave Ramsey since 2009. I'm better than I deserve, but I'm afraid I'm gonna make a bad decision. I'm afraid I'm going to become a shopping addict. I can't eat my emotions because I've had bypass surgery. I cannot drink alcohol. I can't smoke. I can't. So I'm stuck here having to deal with this.
Yeah.
And I'm scared. So I have, back to the question, I have about $2,000 plus extra each month. I have $650,000 in brokerage. Can I just take a break? Can I just go on vacation when I want to? Or what do I do?
Yeah. Oh, Jamie, how recent was all this?
The divorce was final in September.
Okay.
So my rule of thumb, I always tell people, is no big decisions for 6 months to a year. Okay,
And
that doesn't mean don't go out with your kids. You'll need to go somewhere and just be together.
I had some medical issues, and we had 2 homes. I received both of them in the divorce. I sold the first one, and I moved to 16 hours south. I had to get away from him.
Okay.
I had to move. And I have my son with me, and my daughter is in college, and she will not talk with him. She won't. And so I'm constantly the in-between. And so I'm covering every bomb that he throws, and the kids just don't know what he's doing wrong. And so I'm worn out.
Yeah.
But then I'm also keep thinking, at some point I'm going to break, and is it going to be a financial bad decision? Is it going to be, what is it? And
have you broken before? Because you keep mentioning this. Have you lost control before?
No, I think it's a control issue. I can only control my money right now.
No, that's not true. Hold on. That's not
Oh.
true. You can't control him, but you can control you. Have you had struggled with addiction before? Have you struggled with out of control behavior before?
My brother died of addiction last year.
Okay.
And so I'm very aware of slip falls and
I get that, but is that you?
Yeah.
Because I
No.
hear a very strong woman whose entire world just blew up.
Yeah, and Jamie, one thing John has said, and I've heard you say this before, which I feel like is so true right now, what I'm hearing from you, Jamie, is that especially when someone walks through a situation where there's been dishonesty, broken trust, infidelity, like anything in that category, the spouse on the other end questions, oh my gosh, can I trust myself?
Yeah, you've lost trust in
Because
you.
I feel like I was trusting him, and then he comes up living this completely different life. How am I the crazy one? You know, like you start.
Well, that's what he told me for years, is I was the crazy one and I made it all up and I was manipulated for
That's
10
right.
years by him.
Right.
So he could cover it up.
Yes.
Which is obviously the complete
Yeah,
opposite of what's going on. So, Jamie, all of that, you are sitting here and second guessing yourself on everything. You know, you're second guessing yourself that you're going to have a shopping addiction because your brother struggled with addiction, but you haven't struggled with addiction. You're trusting yourself that I'm going to spend all of this money, $650,000. I don't know if I can trust myself with money. You can't trust yourself with money. You've been doing this stuff since 2009 of how to handle money well, right? So I want you again, and I don't even know how to walk you through that, but I want to give you confidence as a long distance friend that's met you for 2 minutes. Tell you, Jimmy, you can trust yourself more than you're giving yourself credit for. So just hear an outside voice say that, because you're questioning every part of your life, which is understandable. Like, hear me say that.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah,
But for someone on just the outside looking in, I just want to say that truth over you, that you can trust yourself. Okay.
So
you're not crazy.
I want to ask you this question. Yeah, you repeat that to yourself. You're not crazy. You were married to a sociopath who put you in extreme danger by having multiple sex partners you didn't know about, and destroyed the trust and gaslit you the whole way. So you're not crazy. Now, I'm going to ask you some direct questions. Are you going to blow all $650,000 of this money?
No.
Okay. Are you going to take care of your kids?
Absolutely. Every day.
Okay.
Every second.
Are you going to honor and take care of Jamie?
I'm trying.
Okay. You are. Now, you have to. Priority number 1, full stop. You have to get a couple of people in your life that will sit with you and have coffee. Now, that's going to be very difficult because you move 16 hours away, right?
Yeah.
Whether that's a therapist, whether it's a counselor, whether it's a local church, you have to have people with you during this time, and it cannot be your kids. They can't be the people who prop you up, right?
Right.
And I would block husband. I would take him out of my phone. I would cut him off.
Yep.
X. There you go. Yeah, thank you for catching me on that one. And at some point, because he is such a out of control, dishonest person, he's going to at some point try to snake his way back into his kids' lives. And I want them to have that. He's already started?
Yep.
Of course he has. I want you to have that conversation with your kids, that they get to walk away from somebody who is a sociopath. Okay?
And that's okay. Because I keep telling them, like, he's your dad. And
hold on.
They don't know everything, obviously.
How old are they?
19 and 21.
Okay. There is a way to tell the truth without telling them that their father is evil. Okay. There's a way. Let me rephrase that even more. There's a way to tell them that their father is very dishonest, has had a pattern of dishonesty, has not told the truth, put you at extreme risk without saying your dad sucks and he's a terrible person, right? One of those is just running somebody down. The other is just telling the truth about what happened. Okay? That's okay. We're not gonna disparage, but we're gonna tell the truth. Okay? All that to say, you gotta get some people in your life. Hang on the line, and we're gonna give you 3 free months of BetterHelp. I want you talking to a counselor before tomorrow is over. Thank you for the call.
Thank you, Jamie.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Cassandra kicks us off in Tucson, Arizona. Cassandra, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
We're doing well. How can we help?
So, my husband and I, we started a rental car business through Turo. Not sure if you're familiar with that or not.
I'm very familiar.
Yes.
I can almost guess where this is all going.
Yeah. So we financed 3 vehicles that are now completely underwater. And in Tucson, it's become pretty saturated. So we're not doing as well as we had started off doing, because we started off doing really great. Now, since probably January, it started to kind of taper off, and then the cars got into some accidents, and then there was no income from this business. So now we're personally backing it when we have like no money to back it. And so now it's racking up credit cards, and my husband's second job that he has is having to fork out the money to pay for things, when in reality that money should be going towards the credit cards, because he's when he contracts work out, he has to put it on a card and then gets reimbursed. So now we're not being able to reimburse what he put on the card, because now we have to pay car payments and insurance.
Oof.
Before George digs into the math here, I just need to ask you before we start talking, are you willing to change your entire posture on this deal?
I want out.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
Well,
I want out.
I know you want out, but the way you're talking about it is all of these things are happening to you. everything was perfect, and then all these things happened to us. And what both George and I and any of my colleagues here would say is, when you leverage your soul, when you leverage a business that you can't cover, you are at the whims of the cosmos as to what happens. And so I've never seen somebody successfully victim their way out of a problem like this. I've only seen people say, well, that was dumb. We did something that looked good on the back of a napkin at a Mexican food restaurant, a good one, by the way, in Arizona, and it didn't work. And so we're going to have to both get 2 jobs or 3 jobs because we have 3 cars that we can't afford. We have 5 cars, actually. And we're going to have to figure this out, and we will never, ever, ever, ever do this again. I've never seen somebody just be like, well, then this happened, and this should be going to this, and this the only way out is you have to change your posture, which is we gambled, we put it all on red 17, and it landed on black 29. We lost it. And now we got to pick up the pieces and go from here. Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying?
No, right. I get it.
I'm only telling you that because I love you, but there's just no way to slump your shoulders through this. Y'all are going to have to say, we did it, and now it's time to come out swinging the other way.
Okay.
You ready?
So, yeah.
All right, lay it out for us. What is your current income if we take Turo away?
Without Turo, it's about $94,000.
Okay, and what's the total debt load?
It's about $110,000.
How much of that is the cars?
29 on one, 29,000 on one, 38 on another, and 20 on another.
Okay, and do you know what all of those are worth?
Yeah.
Okay.
One's worth 19,000, one's worth 21,000, and one is worth 19, 20,000, and 12,000.
Okay. Do you guys have any money, liquid cash?
I have $1,000 in my emergency fund.
Okay. And do you guys have car loans on your own personal vehicles?
No, those are paid off. We did our debt-free scream a few years back, and now here we are again.
Oh,
and
no.
Yes,
Not the
I know.
debt-free alum.
I know. I am completely ashamed.
Well, you're going to get out of this, and one day it'll be a funny story you tell your kids.
That's right.
But right now, there's a lot of pain and fear as to how we're going to get out of this ditch.
Yep.
The good news is you guys have a good income, and without Turo, which I assume was taking up some time, could you guys pick up more work, more jobs?
He cannot. He's already tapped out.
What is he doing?
He's an executive chef, and then he's also a contractor for a company, and he travels quite frequently for that one.
Is that doing similar chef contracting or what?
It's different. It's a little bit different. It's for like he's working with chefs for that job, but
so still in the same field. And
what
then
about you?
What are you doing?
I'm an administrative assistant for him at his executive chef.
What
job.
do you make?
Me, I make about 16,000, I think.
I'm
Okay.
confused. Why would you work for him when you can go make double or triple that elsewhere?
We have 3 kids and no help, so I need that flexibility.
Okay, so you're staying at home with the kids while doing this administrative work for him part-time.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Okay, I was worried. I was like, you need to find a different job. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if we can clear $100,000 here and we can pay off, 50, 60 a year living off nothing, this becomes a solvable problem to just pay this all off. The other way to approach it is, can we find the difference? Go to the credit union and go, hey, I need a difference for this loan so that I can get out from under this bad underwater car situation. Then you have a smaller amount of debt to pay off.
Okay.
But you're not keeping these cars anyways. And so I like the idea of getting out as soon as you can from these underwater vehicles. But the only real way to do it is to come up with the difference. And you either need to do that through savings and cash, or you need to go get a small loan from the credit unions to cover it.
Okay.
Or if he travels a lot, maybe you sell one of your paid-off cars and he can Uber to and from the airport. And I know your first thought is, well, we can't do that. But here's the deal. You're going to have to either just make peace with you're going to be paying this off for 4 or 5 years, or something has to be different because the math is not going to change.
Right.
So somebody at your local church will watch your kids for a discounted rate, or you get a job at a local daycare center where they pay you $32,000 a year as a assistant administrator and your kids go for free, or none of this is what you want, but this is what is. This is just choosing reality here. Or y'all make peace with it, or you sell his car and you pay off the difference between two of these underwaters, and now you're down to just one of the cars. And you see what I'm saying? You begin to knock it out real quick. There is not a path forward without discomfort. And the question is, which discomfort are you going to choose? The day-to-day discomfort of not doing much of anything for the next 5 years, or a really uncomfortable right now with the opportunity to get free in the next 12 to 18 months, and then we're going to save up some money down the road and never do this again.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. How are you, Jessica?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. So I've listened to you on and off for years, and I've read the Total Money Makeover book. My husband is not a fan. I have to put that out there first. But we have some serious debt, and it's all pretty much student loan debt from my husband going to law school. And so right now we are in an income-based repayment plan, so we haven't really been worried about this debt because, after all, after like 20 or 25 years, it'll be forgiven, quote unquote. But I happened to look at one of the balance statements a few weeks ago, and it's gone from $190,000 in student loan debt to $250,000 in student loan debt, and so because of the interest. And so I'm starting to panic because I just sorry, I don't know how to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. What's your household income? That's okay. What's your household income?
My husband, he makes about $90,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. And when you say
part of it is,
go ahead.
I was going to say, we bought into this sort of idea that a lawyer is going to make a lot of money, so it wasn't a big deal to take the school loans out. But he started working public right out of law school, and then his salary's increased over the last 4 years, about $60,000. Mm-hmm. But it's still obviously not going to put a dent in the school loan issue. So,
how old is he?
35.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you say he's not a fan, you mean he's not a fan of getting out of debt?
It's not that he's, I'm not sure. I don't know exactly why he doesn't care for your program. It's not the getting out of the debt part. I think he doesn't want to think about these school loans. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he wants to. I think part of our problem is that we don't know what to do about it. And mm-hmm. so we see beans and rice. Like, I've cut our budget because I do listen. And so I've cut our budget down. I mean, we don't have cable. We don't have a lot of the extras. Our cell phone bill is like less than $80 a month for both of us because his work pays part of his. And I mean, so I've tried to cut down in all of the areas that I can, and in food and all of those things. I mean,
but you're not saving money, and you're not paying extra on the debt. So you're not doing a written plan. You're not doing a written plan for every dollar. You're just cutting stuff.
I'm cutting stuff. This is the first month because I looked at it a few months ago or a few weeks ago and then started listening to you again. This is the first month where I've really done the budget out so that we're going to have, and we have about $1,100 extra a month after all of our bills are paid.
Mm-hmm. What other debts do you have?
So the school loans, and then we've had a camper for a few years, so that's we owe like just under $14,000 on that. Mm-hmm. And then we had bought a truck last year to pull the camper, and we owe $38,000 on that. Mm-hmm. But we don't have any credit card debt or anything like that. But
so you just guys, I know you're scared, but you just keep doing stupid stuff.
Well, yeah,
because
we did.
So I'm hopeless about getting out of debt, and so I'm not willing to listen to anybody. I'm putting words in his mouth. So let's go buy a $100,000 truck to pull a camper? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, part of the thing was I wanted to sell our house last year. I actually wanted to live in a camper. We homeschool, and I wanted to be able to, road school and kind of do some of that stuff. So the idea that we were going to sell the house, and then we were going to live in the camper, and then that all changed because he wasn't ready to do that. But we bought the truck in anticipation of that. So yeah, we're not. I feel like we're smart people, but financially not doing super smart things. And then we bought a new house because we sold our house, but then we bought a new house this summer.
You guys can't get on the same page, and so depending on whether he wants to slap his foot down or not, you guys are lurching back and forth from stupid thing to stupid thing because you do not have a clear goal, and you are not relationally on the same page on any of these decisions, and it's causing it's causing you to multiply the problem instead of doing away with the problem. You need to identify a clear, concise goal that the two of you are willing to sacrifice to get to, and that means sell the truck and sell the camper. And is the house got any equity in it?
It probably has a little bit of equity in it, but it's from, we just bought it in August.
Okay.
So,
all right. So now, and then we're going to get on a tight budget, and we're not going out to eat, and we're not going on vacation, and we begin to attack this. And as his income goes up, it's probably a 5-year plan to pay off $250,000 worth of student loan debt. But until you get rid of this, it's not going to do anything but get worse, because income-based always goes with negative amortization, which means that the interest is higher than the payment you're paying, so you're going backwards. And it's financial suicide. And and the fact that you cannot seem to get on the same page. And I don't know. I don't know whether I'm hearing fear from him or arrogance from him, or maybe both. But the way you're describing the decision making and the way you all interact, it's not healthy. And so you guys got some work to do on that to get on the same page. I really can't help you unless both of you want to do something, because you can't cut cable and fix this.
Right. Exactly.
You can't not go to Starbucks and fix this. This is going to require it's a huge mess, and it's going to require a unified approach between the two of you to be able to win financially. Because, when one of you goes and makes a decision, then the other one grabs the wheel and course corrects, you're jumping back and forth from stupid to stupid and really magnifying this mess. I'm sorry for you. I know you're scared. But, the fact that you guys can't sit and have a good conversation and come to a good conclusion to the point that you're, on a national radio show crying tells me something about y'all's relationship. And that's scaring me. That's scaring me. So the two of you need to work on that. And I'm going to send you to marriage counseling first. Is what I'm going to do. And when you get back from that, if you want to go through Financial Peace University, Kelly's going to pick up. She'll get your contact information, and you can contact her at that point. And then we'll be happy to pay for you to go through Financial Peace University. But I don't want you going to Financial Peace University by yourself, because you're going to end up divorcing this guy if you do. And I don't want to cause that. That's not where I want to go, because you're going to start having real firm knowledge-based opinions, and he's not going to play that for that. He's got to be in on the idea, and you guys have to have a unified front on where you're going with this. It's the only way it's going to work for you. So you need to sit down with your pastor and start working on some of these relationship issues to where he's, as a good husband, he should be a whole lot more concerned about how scared you are than he is, and willing to do something about it. If there was something I could do for Sharon and she was this scared, 100% of the time I'm going to do it. And truthfully, you've got a right to be afraid, because this is a pretty sizable mess, and doing nothing about it is not going to bring you to a good place. So I'm so sorry you're facing this, but hold on, and Kelly will pick up. She'll take your information. Then if you guys come back from marriage counseling and you want to go to FPU, we will pay for it. I do not want you going by yourself, though. That would be an unhealthy thing for you guys right now.
Well, it's time for our long-running segment, Jade.
And by long-running, you mean this is the third time?
Third time.
Okay.
It's long for me, So it's called Pick a Side, and this is where we have two people on the line, and we have to help them kind of settle a debate. And you and I, at the end of it, have to pick a side after we hear them out and hear their case.
I enjoy this thoroughly.
I pitched Judge George for the name of this segment. They didn't like that.
Judge George?
And I wanted a little gavel.
Oh.
Just a little baby gavel.
Then I'm going to pitch Judge Jade.
Oh, dang. That's so much cooler. All right. I give up. Here we go. Let's see what Jennifer and Joe have to say in Denver, Colorado. What's going on, guys?
Hi. Yeah, I'm ready to buy a new car, and my husband thinks I'm fine with the one that I have.
Ooh.
Wow. All right, Joe, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I do agree that she needs a new car. She just wants to spend way too much on a new car.
What
What's
does
way
she want
too
to
much?
spend?
$50,000.
Woo!
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
And that's the most you guys have ever spent on anything outside of a house, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Where are you guys at financially?
We're on baby step 7.
Yes.
Paid for house, no debt, love it. And what's your net worth?
It would be what our house is worth.
Yeah, 600,000.
Plus
50,
retirement?
700.
So not quite $1 million?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. And what's the household income?
150
Last year
approximately.
we did 150.
About
Okay.
150.
And how much cash do you guys have in the bank?
We have our emergency fund right now of 10,000.
And I got 10,000 in my business account.
So 10,000 and 10,000. If you were to buy this car, were you thinking of getting something brand spanking new? And 2, how are you going to pay for it? What's
I
the
would
plan?
want to save up for it.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily want something new. It's just what I want just came out. So I want to wait a couple of years until I can buy one a couple years old.
What kind of car is it? Can you tell us?
It's the Toyota Grand Highlander.
Highlander.
Ooh, where's John Deloney when we need him? That's
know,
what he
right?
ended up getting.
I need like a picture of a Highlander. I don't really know what that is. I'm going to Google it.
They're beautiful. Really great cars. Okay, so what is the car you're currently driving?
I have a 2007 Acura MDX, and it's getting close to 200,000 miles on it.
Oh, she's just getting started.
That's a nice
the
little ride,
MDX
though.
is invincible. Okay, love that. And what is he driving? I'm curious.
I have a 2004 GMC pickup truck. And then we also have a 2020 Transit Connect van. I'm self-employed, and so I use that van for work.
Cool. Okay. Might be time for both of you to upgrade.
I know,
Baby step
right?
7, living like no one else.
I know,
So
that's
I'm
right.
guessing you guys have a sizable margin in your budget now to save up. How much could you throw every single month just to kind of a side savings account?
Oh, I think we could have it saved in 6 months.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
That's pretty
It's
impressive.
pretty simple. So, yeah, I mean, we could save $5,000-6,000 a month.
That's
on top
great.
of our expenses.
Okay.
So, tell us, Joe, tell us what you would do if it were your choice. Obviously, we know Jennifer wants this $50,000 Toyota Highlander, slightly used. In your book, what's something a little bit more reasonable?
30, 35,000. Maybe not the Grand Highlander, but the regular Highlander.
That's what I'm looking at. This one I'm looking at is like 30,000 2023 Highlander LE. Is that not the one?
That's
no, I
not
want
the
the
one.
Grand Highlander.
You want the big boy.
They just came out in 2024.
Okay.
Got you.
Joe, I'm
got
curious.
you. Okay.
Where'd you get that 35 number from? Just your heart?
Oh, yeah, just my heart. Yeah. I mean, I look on Craigslist, and you can find the regular Highlanders.
Yeah, I see
with
one.
30,000 miles for 30,000 or so.
Yeah, I see what's going on here. Okay, interesting.
Ooh, all right. We have a lot of information here.
I feel like, we've been doing Dave Ramsey's baby steps for a long time. I feel like I've been living like nobody else.
Mhm.
We're on baby step 7. When do I get to live like nobody else?
Listen, I feel that. So tell me, when was the last time you did an activity that you would call a live like no one else, the latter, that you've
Like
done?
at least a couple of grand.
Yeah.
Where you're like, we dropped some money on this.
We went to the
vacation?
Dominican,
Okay. When was that?
last month.
Nice.
Okay.
So you guys are enjoying life.
Yes.
So we would say you've driven like no one else. Now it's time to drive like no one else. You've driven the hoopty Dave car. Now it's time to drive the Dave car. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right. I've made up my mind. I know how I'm going to vote.
I got in a car accident a couple months ago, so it's dinged up on the
Oh
side.
man, listen, you keep playing. Tell us more. She's
really playing it up.
All these stupid little things don't work on it anymore. Like you cannot reset my clock, so you can't tell what time it is in there.
Jennifer, I call those special features.
My seatbelt doesn't go back.
Listen, I got my
Doesn't
phone
roll
in the
back
car. I got
up.
my Apple Watch in the car. I know what time it is. It's fine. That's not a big deal. But I'm with you. Okay, can I vote?
I know what my vote is. Are we casting votes?
I think we're casting votes. You
Okay.
guys ready to hear the verdict?
Let's hear it,
Let's
judges.
say it on 3.
All right. The name of the person that we think is right.
Yeah, say the name of the
Okay.
person you think is right on 3.
1, 2, 3.
Jennifer.
Oh my!
Jennifer, you just won a brand new. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be awesome.
Toyota Highlander.
That'd be fantastic. And a
Wow.
dinette set from Broy Hill. I could be
What
on
do you
Price
think?
is
Are
Right.
you shocked?
No.
I'm shocked.
Of course, Joe is shocked.
Here's the thing, because I know this. We bought my wife a new to us car. It was a slightly used luxury car, and it hurt my soul, Joe, to write that check.
Yeah.
But I also knew this is part of living the plan.
It's part of the plan.
And
Yep.
I have a hard time letting go and writing a big check like that. But when you pay for it in cash, you go, oh my gosh, that was a lot. And then you go, this is paid for. This is amazing. This is a huge blessing, and it's why we lived like this for so many years. And so I think you guys are doing the right thing. Just so you know, the parameters here, you don't want all things with motors and wheels to be more than half of your annual income. So that's where I'm going. All right, 150K is your income. Everything you own should be 75K.
Listen, Joe, you could turn around and get yourself a $50,000 car and be all right.
Now, what is this Transit Connect worth?
About 20,000. I would
Okay.
guess.
Yeah.
So even the 20 plus the 50 for hers, that would be 70. You still got some wiggle room there.
Okay.
Not too much.
Not
but-
too much.
And, maybe you wait 3 years and you get the Highlander, but I think you go for it in 2 years from now and you get a 2-year-old Grand Highlander. And if you can't wait that long, then just go for a normal Highlander and you can always upgrade later. Nothing says you have to drive this car for the next 20 years, which is kind of how you guys have been living.
Right.
I feel like Joe's really disappointed in us. He was waiting to say, no, you shouldn't spend more than 30. But I think that will help you guys to go, okay, half of our income shouldn't be tied up in these things.
Yeah.
That means we do need to scale back because this Transit plus the car Joe's going to get plus the car Jennifer's going to get, it's going to add up to be a large part of our world. And then once you hit millionaire status, you can go buy that brand new car. And here's why. It's not a fundamentalist thing. It's just that too much of your world would be tied up in a depreciating asset. But when you have $1 million net worth, you can stomach that hit on depreciation a little
Right.
easier. And so you guys will be there in no time. How old are you two?
I'm 45.
And I'm 56.
Oh, my
All
goodness.
right, yeah.
You got so much time to live and drive like no one else. And you know what, Joe? I think it should be time for you to upgrade after. What is your dream car, Joe?
It's a $30,000 car. We know that.
It's the one he's
you know
got.
what? I actually love my truck.
He wants another GMC pickup.
No, he
I
wants
like
the
He
one
wants to keep the one he has.
I like the one I got.
That's
I'm happy
amazing.
with it. It's got an 8-foot bed. It's got the diesel, and I'm good.
Thank
You know
you, Joe.
what?
They
I
don't
love
make those
that.
8-foot beds anymore. All these new pavement
They
princesses out here got the tiniest little beds. I'm like, what are we even buying pickup trucks for anymore?
So then, Joe, real quick, tell us, if you could spend $30,000 on anything, not a vehicle, what is your thing? Like, what's your live like no one else thing?
I would do a boat.
Hey, okay.
There we go.
Now we got it.
Joe's in the boat. Thank you guys so much for the call and for letting us have some fun. Excited for you guys to make that cash purchase of that beautiful new to you car very, very soon.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
So occasionally, as I'm on the internet, I stumble upon an article that I love.
You live on the internet.
I do live there. That is my zip code. And occasionally I find articles that I love that I think would make you angry. And so those are the ones I want to read on air.
Great. Let's do
You ready for the headline, John?
This sounds fun.
Just so America knows, John does not know what's
I
about to
have
hit him.
absolutely no idea what's coming. Bring it.
Here's the title. Love is in the air, so is dander. On December 4th, 2021, Twixie and Cowboy, both 2-year-old Brussels Griffins, were married at the Dallas home of the bride, Twixie, in the backyard. She wore an appliqué lace bodice with a ruffle of layered tulle at the waist.
George, are these
The
dogs?
groom, I'm not done, John. The groom donned a handmade silk cotton tuxedo and top hat. Later, four-legged guests enjoyed a meal of puppy chow from Vestal's Catering in Dallas, as well, get this, John, as a puppuccino bar and activities including a ball pit. The nuptials cost about $25,000.
What community was this in?
Dallas, your home state, John. Be proud. The
No.
two and their canines
Nope.
met at a Brussels Griffin hangout in February 2021.
Nope.
The dogs soon became boyfriend and girlfriend.
Nope, they didn't.
Miss Wilson, who handled the guest list, said that she and Mrs. Hellwig intended to throw the most epic dog wedding.
You know what I guarantee you is in that community? Hungry people.
And dogs. Hungry dogs.
And
which puppy chow was provided.
we have entered a tiny little vortex that we're not going to be in much longer, George, where we have more money and access to capital than we have sense.
I wish this was an April Fool's joke, but this is from March 16th from the New York Times.
Oh, gosh.
So, how do you feel about dog weddings, John? I think we need to put that out there because I think we're going to see more of them happen.
I think this show needs to be sponsored by Preparation H because I've got hemorrhoids now. I cannot believe I didn't have the words for it. I don't even have the words for it. I don't.
Do you not believe in love for dogs?
I love
Can
my
dogs
dogs.
find love?
Nope, they can't. They mate. They mate, George.
You want to? Can I add insult to
the
injury?
anthropomorphism here, like this is somebody living out a fantasy that clearly didn't happen in their life, and they are putting it on their poor dog. You know what that dog was thinking the whole time? Treat, treat, treat. And they said sit. And the dog was not thinking, wow, she looks beautiful coming down the dog aisle. He was just thinking, treat, treat, treat. Don't pee, don't pee, don't pee, treat. That was it. That was all that was in that dog's head. And at one point when he was being squeezed into the tuxedo, he thought, I don't like my owner, but treat, treat. Right? That's it.
You're
Why?
telling me you don't want to see those Instagram pics?
Nope.
Okay.
You know, I'd rather see people giving money to a food bank. I'd rather see
No,
somebody
don't
with
be that guy,
$25,000.
John. Just enjoy life, man. Can't people have some fun?
You're gonna get your little mutant dogs married, aren't you?
That's right. I've got two French bulldogs, but technically they're related. I feel like I don't know. I'm not gonna get them married.
They're super not related.
Insult to injury
because they're dogs,
That's
and
fair.
B, they came from different litters.
Can I make you even angrier? We saw this ad that popped up. Someone sent it to me from Afterpay. Here's what it said: "Let your fur baby say I do." With Afterpay, which means you can now, it's right there on the screen, from matching outfits to snacks at the dog park reception, you can now pay off your pet wedding in 4 interest-free installments with Afterpay.
There's
Now,
no such thing as a pet wedding.
Here's the
it's
thing.
It's not a thing.
I don't know if that was an April Fool's joke, but I'm scared that it will become reality
listen,
if not.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as pet parents. You're pet owners. And listen, I love my dog. My wife had to have a talk with me about when we got married. And I told her, that dog was in my bed long before you were, right? Like, I loved my dog. I love my dog. The dog I have now, my dog Stella, is my ride or die, dude. I get it. But I'm a pet owner. I'm not a pet dad. I am, though, a human dad because I have human kids. And when they have weddings, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take human wedding photos. And we're going to throw human wedding rice. I don't know what we're going to do, but whatever they want to do. We're not going to throw...
So I'm guessing my dogs are not invited to your kids' weddings, and there will be no puppuccino bar.
There will not.
That's offensive, John.
What is? You know what's offensive? Puppuccino.
Okay.
The people at Starbucks
All
are
right.
sad about that.
Listen,
What is a puppuccino?
It's fun. They just called it a puppuccino. If you go to Starbucks, fun fact, you have your dog, or if you don't, you ask for a puppuccino, and they give you a little cup of whipped cream, and it's a little treat for the dog, and it's called a puppuccino.
I can get behind that.
That's all it is.
I can get
There's no
behind
need to
that.
get angry.
I don't think we need a puppuccino bar if it's just a can of Ready Whip. Right?
That's true. Spray it. Wow. Well, the only insult to injury there, John, is not only are dog weddings a thing, but now you can go into debt with buy now, pay later for a dog wedding.
So I'm kind of this eternal optimist. I just think things are going to work out. People are going to come together, and I get these shards of apocalyptic sightings, and these are one of those moments.
Where you go, it could all just come crumbling down.
I think it's coming crumbling down. And then by this afternoon, I'll be good to go, and then I'll see some young kid texting and driving, and I'll think, nah, it's probably going to come all down. Wow. And then somebody will send me a clip of this actual conversation that you and I are having about dog weddings. It's all coming
I'm pretty sure it's in Revelation, sign of the end times, dog weddings.
No, it's the puppuccino.
That's what it is.
Chapter 4, verse 11.
Wow. Good times there, John. Well, I'm glad I upset you. Mission accomplished. And thank you to producer
you didn't
James.
Actually, it's America. It's America, George.
Everything's upsetting you.
No, just don't. I don't understand.
It's fine, John. Let's get to the phones, man. No one wants to hear about dog weddings anymore.
Hi, my question is how can I save for my retirement when I'm basically living paycheck to paycheck?
Okay. Why are you living paycheck to paycheck?
Well, I am 51 years old. I work blue collar electrician, and I am married. But with my debt, I have a debt unofficially at $55,000, officially $60,000, and I have 3 grandbabies. And I'm just trying to.
How do you have
pay
officially or unofficially? I don't know. What's that mean?
Unofficially, I have right at $55,000 because I just purchased a new vehicle in November. Officially, it's because I owe my husband about $6,000.
What?
How do you owe your husband? Your ex-husband or your husband?
No, sir. My husband. We've been married 17 years, been together 20. Reader's Digest version is the way I was raised in past relationships. I do not depend on anyone financially.
How's that working for you?
That obviously sucks.
Stressful.
Yeah, it's
horrible.
stressful. It's a terrible way to live.
It's a horrible plan.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay.
I just can't get myself to and my husband doesn't complain. He doesn't try to push me. You know, he always say, "Don't worry about it." But I kind of used him.
He's pretty tolerant.
Or terrified of you.
He must be scared of you.
Hey Tammy, we
I am older,
we can give you all the math and all the professional guidance and all that, but you're gonna have to have a heart change. Or this thing's just gonna crash. You see it happening right in front of your eyes. You can't live like this.
I do, and that's the reason why I'm struggling with trying to put all I can into my 401k, but then again trying to step out of my comfort zone.
You kind of missed the point.
You're missing my whole point.
You missed the point.
Did you go buy a $50,000 car?
No, sir. I only paid $49 for it.
Well played, Tammy. Well played. Tammy, why? Why? Why would you buy a $49,000 depreciating asset and call us and ask us
why you're living paycheck to
paycheck?
I can tell you why you're living paycheck to paycheck. The stupidity is sitting on your driveway. It's got
amazing.
4 tires.
And that, by the way, high five. That was a fantastic answer. That was remarkable.
Great answer. So here's what I'll tell you, okay? The data that we know from 30 years of helping folks with their money is that almost no one succeeds relationally in their marriage and succeeds financially towards wealth building that does not combine their lives with their husband. So I'm going to strongly beg you to consider dealing with the emotions of the past betrayals, dealing with the times that people stepped on you that caused you to take this stance and say, I can trust this man that I'm married to. He's my guy. He's my husband. He's safe. And we're going to sit down together and combine our income and combine our debts and combine our assets. And we're going to be what the preacher said. And now you are one, because you're going to struggle financially and it hurts your relationship too. You're going to act like it doesn't, and you're going to try to tell me it didn't, but you're wrong. It does.
No, you're correct. You're correct.
Yeah. And then that's going to also then line you up, and you're going to have to go, oh, I made a mistake last November. I put our family $50,000 in debt that we couldn't afford, and I'm going to have to sell the car and get rid of the problem that I caused because it's a problem. And then we're going to sit down together, and we're going to lay out a budget, and we're going to start dreaming about how we're going to, 40 years from now, be sitting on the front porch, multimillionaires together. That's what I want for you. That's a different thing than you called about, though.
Yes, it is.
Because what does he make?
Depending on the year, about 120,
What do you
140
make?
a year. Depending on the year, about 40 to 50.
Okay. So you got $200,000 almost household income, give or take. And
Yes, and we have no mortgage.
That puts you. That puts
you
you
have
up
no
in the-
mortgage, and you got a car you can't afford. He probably has a pile of money.
He does.
Okay.
He's very good with his money.
Yeah. So our money. So then the two of you need to start talking. Do we really want to keep this car? If we do, we need to write a check and pay it off. Or I need to say I need to sell it because I shouldn't have bought it. One of the two. But you trying to live like a roommate on $40,000 a year and then calling me up while he's making 140 and going, I don't know how I can prosper. Well, the way you can prosper is the two of you combine your lives properly, and it will cause you to prosper. But that's you admitting that you don't have all the answers and all the strength and all the crap by yourself. And by the way, I'm a much better person when I'm combined with Sharon. And by the way, she's a much better person when she's combined with me.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, everyone knows
Everyone
that.
is.
Everyone knows that. Now, we're better because, you bring different strengths and weaknesses in, and when you combine them, you get this beautiful, beautiful orchestra that's a synergy. And Larry Burkett used to say, if two people just alike get married, one of you is unnecessary. So that these opposites attract, and you plug into that. And so, Tammy, my wife Sharon has not worked outside the home in 40 years. She's not earned any income, with the exception of selling some clothes at the consignment sale clothes place. But other than that, she's not earned any income. But guess what? She has a fabulous income because we have a fabulous income. And it's our income. It's not Dave's income and Sharon's income. It's our income. And she has a great life, and I have a great life. And part of the reasons I have a great life is because of her. And so I have, I'm not going to allow her. Not allow, that's not the right word. I wouldn't want for her, and she wouldn't want for me, to be living standalone, siloed lives inside the same house.
I wonder what it would be like if she asked her husband, would you forgive that $5,000 debt? I bet he would say, I already have. Right? I already have. I bet
she's the one carrying it.
I bet she's carrying the debt. I'll pay you back. I'm paying you back.
Because she's the one.
I bet he could care less.
He's standing over there. He's going to be so happy.
Yep.
Tammy, when you do this, he's gonna really love Dave Ramsey and John Deloney because we're the guys who finally talked.
He gets his wife back.
He's got his wife. Yeah. Yeah. Please consider that. And by the way, if you combine everything and it goes horribly, you can separate it again later.
But hey, you people,
it's not going to go horribly. It works.
Folks listening who are in the top 5 to 10% of earners on planet Earth, making $200,000 a year, living paycheck to paycheck. It's probably not the money's. That's the issue.
Yeah. Amen.
It's the mirror.
Create your free every dollar budget today. The simplest way to budget for your life.
So I have a question regarding my marriage. So legally, I've been married for 13 years, but it's been on and off for a while there. But lately, recently, within the last 3 years, I have been living a silent divorce with my husband as far as being emotionally, physically, financially detached from our marriage. So I have a roommate now.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that choice. Why have y'all chosen that world?
Because there's no more connection there.
I know, but there's kind of a thing in popular culture to say like our relationship ran its course. I just reject that. People at the end of the day, they stop, or one person just gets off the train and the other person can't keep going. But have y'all sat down and had this conversation, or have y'all just slowly let this thing go out to pasture? Like,
right.
That's
basically how it happened.
Okay.
We did not sit down for it. And I've particularly asked for divorce, but he said he's not signing anything. So we just live like this. The issue around all of this is what I'm just wondering, if it's even healthy to do this part here. I know it's not healthy for me, but from what I've been looking for spiritually is what they've been telling me, and what I've been, throughout my research, is that it's better for the kids to be at home and see both parents, even though we're living in the situation, versus being separated in different homes that would be more harmful for them.
That doesn't even pass your smell test. You know that's not true, and you're repeating something you continue to hear. Do you think it's better for your child to walk home and see two people who say we are married, and your child is downloading into their nervous system and into their heart and mind and soul, this is what marriage, this is what love and compassion and till death do us part looks like?
I know. No, I don't agree with it, but this is what
I know people are going to say what they're going to say.
Well, not necessarily. It's like, the Bible says once you get married, you're married for life. That's it.
Your husband left you. And I'm saying this with all love in my heart. He left you. He just won't leave the house.
Well, I wish he would.
I know, but he left you.
We both did. Mm-hmm.
Then you both left each other. And so what you're doing is you're playing legal semantics with the Bible. Stop.
So
Stop.
I can't make someone sign. You know what I mean? It's like that's
there can be a no-fault divorce, and the judge will make you sell your house and property and divide it up. And he will get whatever part is his, and you will get whatever part is yours, and you will go on about the life y'all have created for yourself. But both of you are making a choice every single day. And I hate to be so direct, but that's the truth. And what I think is you're living a life as a divorced person. That's the word you gave me.
Right. Well, that's what I.
So you've already violated this biblical contract. You're trying to stay true to. You've already done it.
Plus, most contract. Can I just say the heart of a contract is the heart of the matter. Like when you get married, the piece of paper is a legality, but it's more about you're saying I'm in commitment and covenant with this person. It's the heart. That's really what is the marriage. Like if we're talking about things from really like this biblical perspective, it's that commitment. But you guys have long since detached from that. So it's not about the legal piece of paper. That's not.
Are you telling me the reconciliation's over? That he won't sit down and say, okay, we've chosen to build this life and now we can choose to build something else?
No, it's definitely over. But again, it's more towards what's going to be more like a word. What is just going to be more, I don't know, healthier maybe?
You're so far, ma'am, you're so far past health. You're so far past that. And I know it's hard because you're living in it. You've been living in it for 36 months. You're so far past health. A healthy mother and a healthy dad, that's the greatest gift for your kids. And
it doesn't matter, rather if it's the same household or not. Regardless, if they're going to be wonderful, productive people of society, it just doesn't matter, rather it's the same household or not. That's just the bottom line.
No, it's a straw man. So people ask me on my show all the time. The question is, should we stay together for the kids? No, fix your marriage for the kids. Like it's a false dichotomy. Like fix your marriage for yourselves, and then out of that repair, your kids get to see two people that got really distant, but they made a covenant, and they came back together. Mm. And if both of you refuse to do that, yes, then your house becomes cancer. Stop. But it's not just for your kid, it's for you too, and for your husband.
Can I ask a question? Are you guys living together peacefully? Or is this like the worst?
No. I mean, we're fine.
So you're living together peacefully. Can I ask another question? Was there like a catalyst? Like, was there a moment that it was like, that's it? Like, did somebody cheat? Was there that big blow up moment, or did this just slowly erode over time?
It's like I said in the beginning. So, in the beginning of our marriage has been on and off because I had a child previously. Mm-hmm. And supposedly he was going to, love my child and everything. And just throughout the years, I realized, no, he resents her a lot. And because of that, it's just, it just turned me off completely. That.
So you left him?
No, we're still in the same home.
No. But for all practical matters, you left him.
Right.
Okay. Then call a spade a spade.
Yeah, I can't get that love back. It's just
no, that's not true. You're choosing not to, and that's okay. You can make that choice.
No. Okay.
You can make if you're done, you're done. You're done. You're done. I don't. Again, I don't want that to be the case. But I also understand if y'all both made a choice and let's make a choice, and let's go ahead and call what we're doing what it actually is we're doing. This idea of a silent divorce, it's like all hipster and cool. Man, you are untethered inside your own home, so you begin to come home and you don't know who or what the energy in this home is going to be. It's not safe for anybody. It's not good. Be adults and let's sit across the table and let's say, if we've made this choice to end this, then we're going to do the right thing, the next right thing. If there's any chance we can choose to come back together, let's make that choice and let's fight like hell to save this marriage. But y'all get to make that choice.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Danny's in Syracuse. Hi, Danny. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. I've enjoyed your practical advice over the past few years, and now would like a little bit of your insight into comprising a will.
Okay.
Specifically, the will basically has several beneficiaries. Most of them, or all of them, rather, are financially responsible except for one. Very irresponsible. The only thing they've learned is to use a credit card and have dad come in and pay it. That's a recipe for collecting the inheritance and starting the fast clock from $700,000 to broke. So, I've heard you suggesting on your show about the Financial Peace University as a requirement. How can that be done? And specifically, with the entire course, is there like a practical way on having it be an ongoing participation, making that a requirement?
Well, yeah, you can just take them out of the will until they behave.
Yeah, you sound like you have to leave them in there. Why do you have to leave them in there?
You don't.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with this. Let's start with this.
Someone
Okay.
will learn.
There you go. Yeah, it's a fantasy.
Here's the thing: an inheritance is not an entitlement. You are not entitled to an inheritance. You are not obligated morally, ethically, biblically to leave your money to anyone in particular. Now, in our house, we're people of faith, and to mismanage your life, meaning the steward, the management of your life, including your money, is, you're supposed to be managing your life for God. You're managing your life as Christians. We're going to manage God's money, and if you can't manage God's money, I'm duty bound to not give it to you, to mismanage. From my perspective as a steward, number one, but number two, it's not going to be a blessing to this person. It's going to bring them harm, because when you get money, it magnifies the good and the bad in your life. So it's not about Financial Peace University, and it's not about being a control freak. It's about putting your arm around this child and saying, gosh, I don't want to hurt you. I love you too much to hurt you. And so I'll walk with you as you learn these skills that you've yet to learn. But until you learn them, I'm not going to be able to leave you anything. You're opting out. You're choosing by your misbehavior to not be in the will.
Which I agree with. It's unfortunate it's not my child. I guess the heartstrings are pulling a little bit because he's has some severe health issues and will need some good insurance. And once his parents die,
whose child
he's
is
not
it?
going to get. He's not. This is a nephew, my nephew, and his parents are just as irresponsible as him financially.
How old is he?
22.
Okay.
Have you taken him out and y'all two just talked for a while?
Tried. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
What did that sound like? What did that sound like?
Well, when you got the parents on the other end, I mean, they'll agree with everything you say, but when you got the parents on the other end, just handing cash like it grows on trees, that it's a hard battle to win.
Who's convinced you that this is your problem to solve? Why have you taken this on? You've inserted yourself.
Feel bad, I guess.
You've inserted yourself into their family. Do you feel guilty that you've made a lot of money?
No, not at all.
Okay. Something
I
about
work
the
for it.
situation, you've inserted yourself into your brother or your sister's family and taken it upon yourself that it's your responsibility to save their errant child. I want to free you from that, man.
Yeah, it's not on your list of things to do. What I would do if it was my nephew and I wanted to leave him money to help him because he has health problems, but I think he has bigger problems than health problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
I think he's got character issues that supersede his health problems and may actually add to them. I don't know what his health problems are, but may make them worse or aggravate or exasperate the situation or whatever it is. But I'm just going to sit down with him and I'm going to go, hey, I'm your old ugly rich uncle. You ever heard the parable of the rich uncle? I'm him. I'm the guy. That's me. And so, everybody wants one. Well, you got one.
Ta-da!
And so, if you want, I would love to be a blessing in your life, but I cannot do that until you learn to behave with money. If you'll let me walk along beside you, I'll kick your little butt and I will hug you into learning how to do this life thing and money thing right. But if you don't, not say it, I'm not care about what you say. If you don't do it, then I can't leave you money in the will. But I'd like to be the guy that coaches you up and takes you through this and puts you in Financial Peace University, and you and I talk about it, and I see the fruit in your life, but you being in the will is dependent on that. You can opt out of this by your behavior, you can opt into this with your behavior. It'll be your choice.
So my question is, should I pull out of my savings or stop paying towards my debt in order to buy an RV for me, my husband, my 1-year-old, and our 2 dogs to live in?
Why do we want to live in an RV?
So my parents, our home flooded in 2023.
Oh, no.
And so my husband and I, we had a 2-month, we had a baby, and we needed a place to go. So my parents had just finished building their house, and while they were building their house, they lived in an RV. And so they had an RV for us to live in. So we moved into there. Now my parents are both retired, and they're wanting extra money. And so I just feel like us moving out of this $40,000 RV would be very beneficial to them. Now, while we're living in this RV, we've been able to save and pay off some of our debt.
Okay.
And so we want to continue doing that. We're not really ready to go and rent again. So we've discussed with my parents maybe us buying our own RV and
giving theirs back,
letting them be able to sell theirs. Yes.
What would the cost
So
of the
the
RV
thing
be that you guys are thinking about buying?
Well, so I'm not really sure. We have $2,500 in savings, which isn't a lot, and we still have $40,000 in debt. We're paying off our debt, so our savings isn't going up much. So I'm just kind of stuck on, do I ask my parents for us to continue staying there? I'll be honest, my dogs are kind of tearing up their RV, so if I could get us out of there sooner rather than later, that would be my...
Why aren't you ready to rent? That was the statement you made. We're not ready to rent.
Yeah, is it the cost?
Yeah, we're just really proud of our progress on paying off our debt.
Yes, but
we are too.
You got to run the numbers on both sides to see if this is going to work. So you said you've got, and you've got to consider the time frame too. So you said you've got $40,000 of debt. How much do you have to put onto that debt to clear it in the time frame that you're thinking? And what is the time frame that you're thinking?
Well, at the rate we're going, so some of it's school loans, so we're kind of leaving that out. But at the rate we're going,
don't leave that out. That's the one you want to get. Listen, Sally Mae stops for no one, so you don't leave that out. That's part of the debt snowball.
Yes. As far as my timeline, I'm kind of leaving that out. We have my husband's car,
and I'm telling you straight up, don't leave it out, Rachel.
Don't leave it out.
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you know what?
It's still accruing. It's still accruing. He still has 2 years left of school, so
and you're still taking debt for it. So you're still actively going into debt.
There's still loans coming.
Okay, so here's the
3
answer.
loans on it.
All right, Rachel, I've been very, very patient. We're having the wrong conversation. So I'm going to answer the question that you asked, okay? No, you should not stop paying down your debt to buy an RV. You have no idea what the RV is going to cost. You only have $2,500 in savings. You're more than $40,000 in debt, and you're presenting to us as though you can't even afford to pay rent, which isn't true, which is where I want to focus our conversation. The bottom line is your dogs are tearing up your parents' RV. You guys have outstayed your welcome. They need the money. So what I want to ask is, what does your husband and you, what's your bring home income, both of you, because I want to come up with Jade, how much you can actually afford in rent, because that's what you need to be doing, is going and renting and then taking your time and going as fast as you can go on paying off the debt. But buying an RV, you don't have the money.
Were you going to sell something to get this? Or what was your thought?
No, we were going to
finance it. I know what you were going to do.
Yeah.
No, because you don't have any money. So therefore, you were going to justify getting an RV, which if you really want to get our blood pressure high, is when people ask us about buying RVs, because it's a complete and total waste of money. So let's go to, tell Jade what your take-home income is so that she can help you figure this rent out.
Yeah, so I bring home 70,000, and my husband brings home about I don't know. He makes $11 an hour, and this is a newer job because he had to change jobs so he could be closer to my son's daycare. Over
Tell
in
me
the town
every
my
month.
parents live in.
Tell me every month how much money you guys see in your paychecks. That's an easier question.
So he gets paid every other week. His are about $700, so he brings home about $1,400, and I bring home. Well, I have our insurance and I have, 401k. I bring home $1,800 every 2 weeks. So what is that, 32?
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have $5,000 a month, and you've got 25% of that you can spend on rent. So you've got $1,250 that you can spend every single month on rent. So that's your starting spot. Now you go, I almost said look in the paper or look in the yellow pages. I don't know what hit me, but you go and you find
Yeah, we'll have to
a
explain
place.
what that is to some people.
People don't know how old I really am.
I know.
You go and find an apartment or something, a rental, a townhouse that you guys can stay in that'll take your dogs, and that's $1,250. That is the barrier.
Yeah.
Because if you go beyond that, it's going to be really tough, Rachel, for you guys to make headway on your debt.
Is
so
your
that's
husband?
the game plan.
Yes. So there's your number. $1,250 is your max, Rachel.
Maximum.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
I want to know if Hubs is working another job or two or open to working another job or two, because $11 an hour, he's capable of bringing in more money, and he needs to be, especially when we're paying off debt. What's the story?
Yeah, so we moved to a smaller town when we moved in with my parents, and so we were looking for a job for him that's close to my son's daycare because I have to travel over 60 miles for work.
Ooh, I got a great idea. Why don't we
Okay.
move closer to
There
your
you go.
job?
Now you don't have to be in the
and by the
RV.
way, it's probably closer to civilization, I'm gathering, which means there's
I'm
better
gathering.
jobs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When will he be
Yeah.
eligible?
This is great.
It sounded like he was still in school because he's accruing loans. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, he's doing online
For
schooling.
what?
So when will
still
he
has
make
2
more?
years. Well, his degree is in marine biology, so
In Texas.
Is George Costanza. All right. All right. So is there a pathway that he's going to make that money?
To get him near the marine biology?
Does he know the pathway for that?
he has no pathway. No.
Okay.
He doesn't know the pathway.
He needs to pause on school. You all need to move and get to a better place where you're not driving as far as you're driving with a little one. That's adding a lot of stress to your life. It's going to be a better job market for him because it's near civilization or in the middle of civilization, and he needs to be making $20 or more an hour. Period. End of story. I don't care what he's doing. And yes, he needs to press pause on pursuing a degree because you guys can't afford it, and you're taking a loan out without a path to doing marine biology work. Now, I'm not saying I'm not in any way crapping on the dream or trying to be tough guy or get off my lawn guy. But right now, where there is no path, we shouldn't be doing something. And so let's press pause. The marine biology degree will always be there. But you all need to get your income up and change your lifestyle.
That's...
Yeah.
Sorry. I know that's not fun to hear.
It's not, but Ken, I think you're exactly right. There's a lot going on, and if they can just focus in one direction, a clear direction where there is a path forward, to your point, you need to go that direction. And so $1,250 a month in a rental that gets you closer to your job and allows him to find work as he pauses education for the time being until he finds a clear path forward.
Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey.
Let me show you how my husband and I got on a budget. I'm going to teach you 3 principles tonight, and I'm also going to show them to you on this beautiful wall back here. Hello, Zoomers. I'm going to show you how to make your budget. We're going to do it 3 ways. We're going to be detailed, realistic, and flexible. That's how we're going to make a great budget that is a plan that's not a punishment, okay? Now, whenever I build these budgets, I always have a buddy backstage. His name is Bobby. He's behind the scenes in the internet, and he's going to bring up every dollar on our beautiful Zoom wall here so that you can see it. For a lot of you, you might be seeing it for the first time. So let me give you an orientation to what you're seeing. Right now, That little left column over there, I don't want you to worry about that at all. Matter of fact, completely disregard that, okay? And then over here on the other side, you can disregard that column for right now, too. I want us to focus our attention to the center because that's where we're talking about right now, okay? Because in the center, that's where the action happens. We've got our income on the top. And then at the bottom, it's all of our expenses. And at the end of the day, that's really what a budget is, right? It's your income minus your expenses. So when we're talking about doing a detailed budget, we're talking about filling in these numbers with detail, okay? So at the top, Bobby, show them where the income is. So right there, you'll see it's kind of defaulted, her paycheck, his paycheck. It doesn't have to stay like that. You can add more, okay? If you're a person who gets, 4 different paychecks or 6 different paychecks, you can add all those in. It's very customizable. And you can also customize your expenses, right? Because I told you before, on the budget, you want to plan every single dollar, meaning you're thinking of everything you could possibly spend money on, okay? So let's just go through here. It looks like it's got everything covered, Bobby, but wait a minute. What about doggy daycare? Let's add that in there, right? Because that's something that's important to us. We want to spend money on it. And maybe yours isn't doggy daycare. Maybe it's a hair appointment that you have. Or maybe it's, you play golf on the weekends. Whatever it is, you just add it to the budget, okay? And that first budget, you want to be detailed because we really want to get a picture of what's going on in our life. So we added those line items. Everything's looking good. But something I noticed here, we're up in the red. If you notice up top here, underneath January 2025, we can see that we're in the red, but that's okay. That's okay because that brings me to our next point. We want every budget to be realistic, okay? So when you start doing that budget and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in the red, don't let it stop you. Keep going because we want to get a realistic picture of what's actually going on so that we can fix the problem, right? And so being realistic with the numbers that you put in here is so important. Listen, you can't be 40 years old with 40 kids Listen, don't have 40 kids. You can't be 40 years old with 4 kids trying to squeeze into a 26 and single budget, okay? It's just not going to work for you. So be realistic, even if you're in the red, okay? And now you might be saying, okay, well, Jade, what am I supposed to do if I'm in the red? There's 2 different things you can do. Number 1, easy, let's just cut some expenses, right? Every budget has things that we need and the things we want, okay? So we're going to cut some of the things that are wants. We don't need them. So Bobby, let's see what we have here. Subscriptions. Can you do without Hulu? Can you do without Netflix? I think you can. I know that you can. So let's get rid of that $55. That cleared up some of the money right there. You might need to clear up a little bit more. You want to know what I suggest? Raising your income. And most of us do that by side hustles, okay? I'm just telling you right now, if you're trying to get out of debt, having a side hustle is part of the get out of debt starter kit. It's just part and parcel to the deal. So let's add a side hustle on there, Bobby, and let's do it for $500. Now, you might be thinking, Jade, how am I supposed to make $500 extra? Let me tell you something. We do webinars all the time to coach people on their budgets. And we always ask people, hey, what do you do for a side hustle? And we ask them to put it in the chat. We find that people they're making $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. They're making bank on side hustles. Matter of fact, if you're watching this right now, why don't you throw in the chat, just put it in there for people to see. It might be scrolling really fast, but that's okay. Let people see what you're doing and what you're making and give them some ideas because in 2025, we need to make some money, okay? So when we added that side hustle, look, all of a sudden, the numbers are black, $466. That means that's an overage. That's money we have left to spend, which is excellent, okay? So we've got our budget here. It's starting to work for us. Now the other big question is, okay, Jade, I got the thing. How am I supposed to stick to it? Okay? And I know what the TikTok influencers and the Finfluencers are telling you. They're saying, at the end of the month, just close out your budget. At the end of the month, it's over by then. The spilled milk is there. That never works. Do not wait till the end of the month to close out your budget. The key to sticking to your budget is tracking your transactions in real time as they're happening. And we can do that in every dollar. So, Bobby, now let's take a look at this other side of the screen where our transactions are. Anytime we spend money, it's going to go automatically through Bank Connect into our every dollar budget, which is so helpful because guess what? If I told myself, hey, I'm only going to spend $200 on restaurants, next time I go to Subway, which it'll never be me, but if you go to Subway, listen, all you do is track it in there and it will tell you, okay, here it is. I'm tracking my expense. Now, next time I go out, I know I only have $173 to spend. It's as easy as that, okay? And I love with every dollar, it gets kind of smart because after a while it says, oh, you go to In-N-Out? That must be a restaurant because you're always tracking it in restaurants. And so that's how that works. After a while, tracking your transactions, let me tell you, it's like 2 minutes of your day. But that 2 minutes is how you stick to your budget. It's how you take control of your money. It's how you get out of debt, okay?
CNN Money reporting Amazon didn't kill Toys R Us. Here's what did. It's true online shopping didn't help matters, but the struggles of Toys R Us predate the boom in online shopping. Many of its wounds were self-inflicted. The company's biggest problem, it was saddled with billions of dollars in debt. That debt stopped it from making the necessary investment in stores, and that meant an unpleasant shopping experience that doomed the chain. The company told employees Wednesday that it would close or sell its U.S. stores after 70 years in business. If you're going to have that breadth of inventory, you need someone in the store to help you find it, help you experience it, said Greg Portell, lead partner at retail consultant A.T. Kearney. It's hard to sell toys in a cold warehouse environment. Toys R Us debt problems date back to well before Amazon was a major threat. Its debt was downgraded to junk bond status in January of 2005 at a time when Amazon sales were just 4% of their current level. Much of the chain's resources were devoted to paying off that massive debt load rather than staying competitive. Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy in September 2017. It disclosed it had about $5 billion in debt and was spending about $400 million a year just to service that debt. iHeartRadio also filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy last week on $20 billion in debt. A bunch of their radio stations carry this show. We're glad that they're on the air, and we're glad to be on the air with them, but it's the same exact situation. The debt, there's nothing wrong with iHeartRadio. The operations are clean. The app works. They're the largest owner of radio stations in America. They do a good job. They're good operators. They're not incompetent. We work with them all the time. No problems, really, other than $20 billion in debt. And it's just hard to operate under that kind of yoke around your neck. Because, see, here's what it does. Like, here's what happened with Toys R Us, okay? Toys R Us started to realize that they needed to have an online presence and become a click and mortar. Papa Dave, that would be me, actually bought grandkids stuff on Toys R Us website. But their website was clunky. It was high friction, very hard to operate, very hard to navigate through. And, you know, given clunky, most people are going to click old Prime over at Amazon, right? You don't want to do clunky. You want to do quick, easy, checkout, right? Boom, I'm out of here. And the problem is that same stinking toy just about every time is over there on Amazon. So you're not just competing on toys, you're competing on the way your website operates. The marketplace moved, and if you don't move with the marketplace, you get taken out. And so because they were so saddled in debt, they could not do the investments in their website infrastructure that they needed to, in the robustness of their website, the elegance of their website, the ease of use for their website. If they had poured $400 million a year into their website because they didn't have debt, $5 billion in debt they had to give that money to, they'd still be here. Because the problem wasn't that they didn't have a good selection. The problem wasn't that they were bad people. We've got a Toys R Us right about a quarter of a mile from this office where I'm sitting right now, and I have shopped in there since our children were little. It's iconic. It's a shame that chain is gone. I mean, it was a wonderful. I had, our kids had friends that worked in there in high school. We've bought kids stuff there, grandkids stuff there, birthday party stuff there. Some of the first Ramsey kid shopping experiences were in that particular store just down the street here. What killed them? It was that they could not respond to the disruption in the market The disruption in the market being something like Amazon, and the fact that people are now doing more and more online ordering, and their online ordering sucked. They could not respond. They knew they needed to. I think they do. And I didn't have any discussions with their leadership team, but I think they knew they needed to. They didn't have any money. If they had poured $400 million into their infrastructure on their website, I think they'd still be here. Because I think they were an iconic brand. And here's what's interesting. When they were rising, when they were coming up, you know what people in small towns were saying? I don't see, if you're not old, you don't know this, but when old people like me, I remember we used to have independent toy stores in virtually every town. Just like you had an independent hardware store before Home Depot and Lowe's in virtually every town. And oftentimes you had, little independent clothing stores that, Walmart has come in and taken out. So what's happened is those little independents got taken out because they didn't adapt. Toys R Us took them out a generation ago. And so what happens in business is 100% of the time there's going to be a disruption. 100% of the time there's going to be change. And if you are deeply in debt in your business, just like in your personal life, you don't have the ability to be nimble, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and go with the change. You can't move when the market moves because you're paying a stupid bank because you stupidly signed up for so much you can't breathe in debt payments. But if you can move when a disruption comes along, the disruption can actually become the biggest blessing to your business instead of a threat to your business. I'll give you a great example of that. In the 1920s, we used to have, I wasn't here, but we Americans had little boxes in our kitchen that were little insulated boxes to hold a big cube of ice called ice boxes, because there wasn't a refrigerator in your kitchen yet. And companies would deliver those blocks of ice with big tongs, and those blocks of ice would keep your food cool in your kitchen. Or you used a cellar. Frigidaire, a division of General Motors, invented a thing called Freon, and refrigeration was born. Now everybody had refrigerators in their living room, or in their kitchens. And they didn't need ice anymore. You know what the ice houses did? A bunch of them went out of business. You know what one of them in Texas did? They started selling eggs and bacon and other goodies out of their store. The store was called 7-Eleven. They adjusted to the disruption. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.